Hello and welcome to Shut Off That Noise. I'm Craig Riddock. In this episode, I speak with the four members of the band Red Nightfall, vocalist and keyboard player Addison Siemko, bassist and backing vocalist Patrick Ilian, guitarist and backing vocalist Jason McLean, and their newest member, drummer Greg Arnold, who joined just after the newest recording was completed. I'll be featuring 3 tracks from their new album, Anna, Don't Disappear, starting with this one. Here's Red Nightfall with Marion.
Dabbled in the finer things, dabbled in their homes. If I cannot avoid failing them all, losing it, no, there's more to this life that it consumes. Following it too far, a love like last year's snow, to a garden we left too long.
Okay, if you've got your headphones on correctly, you will have Greg Arnold in your left ear at the far left. Patrick Ilian will be at the center left. At the center right, there'll be Jason McLean, the guitar player. And at your very far right ear, you're going to hear Addison Siemko. Anna, Don't Disappear just got released basically officially this month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
January.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
No, technically last month. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. It's just February 1st. I'm about 24 hours behind. Yeah. So, how long did it take you guys to record that one?
Recording started.
Okay, this is Jason answering.
2014.
I believe so.
2014.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took about 2 years.
So basically, hot on the heels of Late in the Fever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was released August 2013. I remember.
Okay. That's Addison.
First session was probably January 2014,
Yeah.
right? For this one.
And then off and on.
Yeah, it was off and on. That's why.
And that was Patrick over there.
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you record this one?
So the drums and a lot of it was recorded at a studio called River 16 in Oakville, and the rest was recorded in our engineer Daniel Beato's house in the East End. He's got a setup. Yeah, he went to school with Greg and I.
Yeah. Is that the setup that I saw? Like I was flipping through some photos that you got on your old Facebook page, and there's one shot like looking at an engineer from behind, and he's got like a whole array of speakers.
Yeah, I think that's actually at River 16 in Oakville.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Okay, that was Patrick.
The his basement setup is a basement setup. Like
Really? Okay.
we
Yeah.
had to, one of the instruments was recorded between I can't remember which. I think it was the sax was recorded between the landlord doing plumbing. So then like the noise stops and then we go for a take, and then the landlord's like, and they didn't even know. I don't think the landlord knows
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
or knew.
He never knew what was going on.
Yeah.
It's like he was like not waiting for the saxophone to stop
Yeah.
or
It wasn't-
start hammering again or anything.
It wasn't my ideal setup.
yeah.
But we made it. But we
yeah.
made it work.
Yeah.
So that's just like kind of to show why it took so long,
Yeah.
in a way. But yeah, no excuses either.
No.
It's
I
on,
like the
it's
result.
on us.
It sounds great. It's like I'm listening to all three of them sort of in bits and pieces, and what I seem to observe is that you guys kind of like came to do your self-titled one like with your sound already kind of like ready, and like I think that you're slowly adding to the musical terrain that you're doing, and then it seems like there's more layers on this one than before. That's how I would describe it. How would you guys describe the progression of your sound that's gone on since 2011, I guess?
Well, that's very kind of you to say. First off,
Yeah, when you're so close to it, you
Right.
probably don't see that kind of progression. It's just like it is, what you create.
we should mention like Patrick Addison and I have known each other since high school.
Yeah, last year in
And
high school. About
way before the album, like our first album
Okay.
came out, we had already been jamming and writing songs with another guy, our first drummer named Ben Faulkner,
yeah.
and that was like that kind of like formed the sound in a lot of ways, or that's where we like kind of
Kind
find
of.
ourselves.
It was more proggy then.
Yeah,
I
it
mean, you
changed
guys
quite a
went to
bit
Tool
before
and
the
like-
first album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was, but yeah, that's where we
So,
started.
yeah.
so prog rock isn't a bad word in this room.
No. No.
There are
I guess when I say prog, I mean like King Crimson, like
That's what I mean too.
It's
yeah,
it's
I
like
don't know.
not a. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a main influence, but it's like
in there.
so. Like prog is like when rock and roll kind of like went sideways from the blues and like, or not even sideways from the blues, but they just embraced classical.
Exactly.
And I think that like
yeah.
so that vein of music mixed with the blues end of music. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like I can hear
prog's a loaded word. I should
Yeah, I know it is. Yeah, you never know if you're offending somebody or not. And for me, like growing up, like a kid in the 70s and then like a teenager in the 80s, like
Yeah.
I actually really refuted the 80s a lot and just didn't get it, and was
Really?
like still listening to King Crimson and a lot of jazz fusion and Miles Davis and Old Genesis. So yeah. Like I said, Old Genesis. The reason I said Old Genesis is because there was that interplay between Steve Hackett and the other guy,
Mike Rutherford.
No, don't look at me on that one.
Yeah, Greg, that's you. Your only hope.
Yeah, I'll correct myself with an overdub here, but yeah, that's like like you've definitely got a sort of a classical guitar playing style. Like, did you actually study classical guitar? Or no, you just
no lessons either.
No.
Okay.
I've always thought it was like when I hear Jay's playing, it's kind of like he got a rhythm guitar, but he also has those kind of leads in there too, and he plays an electric like an acoustic. So it's like something that I've played with other people, but you don't really find it.
There are times when you just hear him playing from another room, and it's like there are two different guitars going on. Then you come in there, it's just him playing.
Yeah.
I should say that this is the first album that anyone's mentioned the guitar. Also, it's usually the bass.
Well,
but it's.
I'll get to that.
Okay, we're going around the circle.
I will say first, like I will say that Johnny Marr of the Smiths is a huge influence on my guitar playing, and probably everyone else's of our generation.
Yeah.
Where he plays a mixture between lead and rhythm,
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't hold a candle to his playing, so I don't want to
Yeah.
confuse or I don't want to seem like I'm important.
For the complexity of your guitar lines and the complexity of the bass lines, you guys never step on each other. There's a really great weaving between it. Is this like? And you said you'd known each other for a long time. So is that's a chemistry that you kind of?
I think so. I think it all goes back to the fact that we've been playing together for so long. I learned to play bass while jamming with Jason and while jamming with Addison. So I think that kind of helps. I kind of understand how the ebb and flows of Jason's guitar playing will work, and I kind of work with Addison as well and figure something out in that realm.
So have you guys built a chemistry enough now that you're like writing all in the same room, or like I didn't get an indication from any of your liner notes if there's like one writer who's going up on the mountain and writing the songs and bringing them to the band, and then here guys play these parts, or are you?
I do go to the mountain alone.
Yeah,
but I don't do all the
you
writing.
date yourself as well.
Yeah.
Actually, well, we should mention that Greg. Greg is the new member of the band. He's not on the album.
Yes, you were saying.
But
yeah. I'm going to get to that as well.
I think this would be a good question for him because like the chemistry and the writing in the room is starting again with Greg, and I don't know.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
We usually don't write in the same room. Like Addison and I and Pat would send demos because we were in college. We just send demos and we write. Like Addison and I especially we can't jam.
Yeah.
Greg and Pat, like they can write in the jam room, but we fail at it.
Yeah, I think like for the longest time it was Jay would have a riff or he'd have an idea and then he'd send it out to Pat and I, and sometimes it'd be like at the highest peak there'd be like multiple day, sometimes like one a day, sometimes just one a week, but like he just send them, and it was more like either Pat and I, and he didn't care like what one stuck or not, and like either Pat and I were the ones who could decide, oh, this kind of works or this doesn't work. We'll pick them and then we'll just like add to it and then bring it to a space and kind of work on it more. But like, yeah, I mean, if there was one that Jay really liked, he would like rework it or like resend it as if he'd never sent it before.
It's very much like lobbying in politics, you know.
But now I like the dynamics shifted more to now that we have gone back to regularly jamming more, we can actually just get in the room and do that, and kind of getting better at that. But still, like Jay and I, you get us into a room just the two of us, it's like, well, I don't know, like he has to start a song and then I have to layer on top, and then it's still that dynamic, so maybe we need to work on that. But it's worked so far and I like that. I like being able to just take something and then kind of like sit on it and really think about it. So,
and here's the fifth cut from Anna Don't Disappear, Tuxedo M.
In a bad way for you, baby. Stuck in the pain while the mercury rolls. Wish it said me more than one word. 6 weeks at a time, I'm losing my head. Your friends, do you really think it's Stockholm if your captain's really hard? Oh, 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 oh. I'm the miserable bastard in your penthouse, stuck in my head, drinking all your share. If I knew I could trust him and tell
it's come from various sources. Like Jay and I pretty well split the duties for lyrics, but it's always been like it's like the David Byrne, it's like the Tom York style of writing, and I've heard a lot of other people say the same thing. They get the melody first, and then they maybe have some scraps of ideas they like, and they try and fit that to the melody, or they just start saying, or like you hear a lot of like people talking about writing those tops or leads or whatever they call them in pop songs. Like
they call them top lines.
Top lines, yeah, and they just say garbage, and then they try and fit something to it. It's not quite like to that level. It's more, I do have something I want to say. I just got to make sure it's massaged to the point that I like it, or it just sometimes it works with the melody.
I see. Well, you mentioned that Greg is starting to become a part of the writing process, and you're already working on new material now. That's amazing. So the album dropped last month. Now that I've got my sense of timing correct and I'm in the right time zone, were they already finishing up the album when you arrived on the scene?
When I came on the scene, the whole process of me even joining the band was very strange. As we mentioned earlier, the producer of the album, Dan, he's a fantastic guitar guy. Like, he can fix up any guitar, really. Yeah. So he works out of a shop called Cask. So I bring my guitar to him. Haven't seen him for a while. Bring it in. It's been like a year or so since I've even got new strings on this guitar. Just clean it up, tune it up, whatever. And when I go pick it up, I say to him, if you know of anyone who's looking for a drummer, let me know, because I want to get back into playing. And I haven't been playing it's been about 6 years from between bands. And a week later, he says, hey, I need a drummer for this one band that I'm playing in. It's like, okay. So I joined his band. And we start practicing, rehearsing, and then we do a show. And now we're looking for bands to play in the show. Well, it ended up being Jason and Addison just going up on stage for 2 sets individually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pat was there, and that was the first day I met Pat. Yeah. Jason ended up running sound for us that night because we needed someone to run the board, because I was running the board for everybody else.
Okay. That was fun.
Yeah. And then it ended up being me and Jason just talking and saying how he's in need of a drummer, and it's like, do I drop the bug that I'm willing to play in 2 bands?
Yeah.
I see.
And then we get the call, and so by the time I ended up rehearsing with these guys, all the drum parts were already done.
Yeah.
So it was my role to learn what the other drummers have already done beforehand. Yeah. And then kind of bring in my own elements where I can.
So are you learning exactly 3 albums or 2 albums and a 5-song EP worth of material, or has over the years you guys sort of pared it down to a set that works in bars and stuff like that?
Well,
how has that been curated?
When I first came in, that was my question too. Do I need to know the entire back catalog? Is there anyone who's going to ask for this song from this album that I don't know? And that's going to be very awkward. And the band just pretty much said, we're just going to do the new stuff.
Yeah. It's easy when you don't have any fans.
Yeah.
Nobody's nobody's a song.
Okay, yeah.
We just weren't asked Greg to play a few from the new album and then work on new stuff.
Yeah.
We like to stack and we like to move forward.
Yeah, and I don't know, I've been really impressed, you doing the new stuff, being Antidote Dissapear. It's like, you're not doing it exactly the way it is in the recording, and you're doing it your own way, and you're actually incorporating some dubs into what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So and that, I much prefer that than you trying to just do exactly what it is, because you have to do what you want to do and how it works for you, so then it works in a live setting.
Yeah, and the key thing that I noticed there were certain songs like with Tuxedo, there's a lot of background vocals that are filling things out. So when you play it live, it doesn't sound the same way. So you end up changing, at least for me, I end up changing some of the drum part to just fill it out more, to make it sound less empty. Because if you listen to the drum part on Tuxedo, it's very syncopated. There's not really a constant rhythm on the hats or the tambourine that's going on. It's 8th notes that are just hitting right where they need to, and it works great for the song as a production piece. But live, it doesn't translate the way we want it to, or we haven't found the correct way to do it. But then that's up to me to try and figure out, okay, is it something on my part that I can do to fill it out a bit more, just to keep the energy up where it needs to be.
And here's the 3rd track that I'm featuring from Antidote Dissapear. Here's Red Nightfall and St. Petersburg.
And I have always been some kind of blue. A delayed plane and I was into you. Oh Lord, ooh, look, I couldn't shake. An unmade bed laid out your lover's name, and I remember you were lonely then with lips, ooh, lips as warm as me. But you needed warmth and wanted only to forget the darker side of that first so careless undress. The fire-branded mind was something you could soothe, and I was him. And I was him. And I was in too far. Had it all to lose. And I have always been some kind of blue. My watercolors bleeding into you. I've stained, ooh, every blouse and choker. You don't ever let it get to you. Keep it close and never let the blues escape. Your elegance is still. But you needed warmth and wanted only to forget the darker side of that first so careless undress. The fire-branded mind was something you could soothe, and I was him. And I was you. I was in too far. Had it all to lose.
No, I know you guys play. How often do you guys go and play live?
We have
Well, we didn't have a drummer, so
Right.
it's all,
right.
yeah.
So-
So it's all starting again now. We're
Yeah.
just working on our set right now, actually.
Okay,
But
so-
this
so-
year's the plan. Yeah.
yeah.
So, what's your aspirations in that department? Are you gonna like try and get really busy and start playing like a couple of shows a month and get out of the city? And
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be great.
anything and everything.
Yeah, I really miss playing live, and with what we have now, I'm more than, excited more than ever to do that. So it's just, you really want it to be right again, and it's been so long, like so many things have changed. So it would just be nice to start with a new, fresh start
great.
in a way.
Yeah, I wonder like when I listen to your material. Like there's energy songs and there's a lot of stuff that's got a lot of nuance, and it feels like for me, my ideal venue for it would be like the Soft Cedar Theater. Like, how do you guys feel when you get into an environment with a bar where the people that are 20 feet away from you are just talking? Does that really? How is that for you guys? Like,
I want Pat to answer this.
Yeah, well, like, we kind of, when we were playing live before, I think we could just kind of taking whatever we could get, almost. A lot of the places that we were playing were exactly how you described.
Like, you got to call out stuff like, table 15, your pizza's ready. No, nothing like that.
No, nothing like that. There's lots of, like, everybody buy beer. And
Well, I was just doing that for fun and
Yeah.
like, throw the bartenders a bone. I mean, they're already making the money, right?
yeah.
I just felt like you should do that.
But yeah, I don't know if there's any particular venues that we really wanted to play that we never did.
We actually did play a lot. I was thinking back to it. Like
Yeah.
we played quite a few times, but like the big ones like Horseshoe, Lee's Palace, Selma Combo.
Yeah.
The one on my list before I die is Massey Hall, but that's I don't know if that's anytime soon.
I like the bars. I like the noise and I like feeling like you have to win them over in a way.
Yeah.
And when I go up, I don't expect people to be like it's our job to make them pay attention or make them want to pay attention. So when people are talking and stuff, it's because we suck.
Yeah.
Like that's how I view it.
Yeah, they're not
Like
that interested.
why should I feel so entitled that people should just turn and like listen to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like you have to be good to. Because I'm the same way. As like I view it like when I go to shows, I'm respectful, obviously, but
Yeah.
I'll walk out if it's annoying.
Well, like,
Yeah, you expect the same treatment.
And here's one more track from Red Nightfall from their self-titled album, the first recording. Here's Windmills.
Blame me. I'm the guilty one. A broken shelf, Parkland trust, a lying one. You don't trust. Oh mercy, let me go safely. I'm bleeding now. Oh mercy, now that she's leaving and he's fading out. And it scares me that I feel nothing, nothing at all. And it scares me that I feel nothing, nothing at all. Blame me. I'm a guilty one. Broken shelf, barcode trust, lying one. You don't trust. Oh mercy, let me go safely. I'm bleeding now. Oh mercy, now that she's leaving and he's fading out. And it scares me that I feel nothing, nothing at all. And it scares me that I feel nothing, absolutely nothing at all. Nothing at
Now, there you have a band with gravitas and artistry. There is just so much nuance and depth and intelligence to what they do. I am just in love with their sound. And let me tell you about next week. I'll be speaking with Rebecca Burton about her article in Canadian Theatre Review about the pros and cons of collaboration. So until next time, I'm Craig Riddock, and you've been listening to Shut Off That Noise.